Hello, everybody. So I wanted to come on here. I didn't want to wait too long to get the messages out because I had a lot coming to me, but I wanted to go live for this one. And first off, I just want to thank everyone for becoming part of the JC family and really being loyal. I want to let you guys know that every single last one of you are a huge part of my life. I love every single last one of you guys. And I had taken some time off to really focus on my dog, and she pretty much has to have surgery on her back legs, and so it was really a tough time for me. You guys can hear it in my voice. I've been crying on and off, and pretty much I entrusted her with someone, and when I came back to get my puppy, both of her back legs were broken, and the person I left her with is not giving me much to go off of. And I just was calling around, and I was just praying around the clock. I was like, God, please, like, my puppy is all I have. She all I got. I work, I go to school, I pray, and I get on here to talk to you guys whenever a message drop on me. I don't really have nobody here but my baby, and she just always want to be around me. I can tell she don't like being disabled like this. It's been real tough on me. I have to help her relieve herself. So I got her sedated right now with the meds they gave me for her, and so she watching me go on the live so I can keep her calm. As long as she by me, she gonna stay calm. So I kept praying, and I got to this clinic. The people were willing to work with me. It's affordable for me, and they're gonna go ahead and get her in surgery on Friday. So now that I got that good news, I can come back on here and give you guys the message. And so it's okay, bear with me, guys. I knew I had to come on here and get it out. So just what was dropping on my spirit is, the message for today is God is telling you that whenever there was a point in time in your life, like when I tell people we were going through a transition and through a phase. Yes, she is. She's going to be okay. You guys were going through a phase. And in the midst of this cycle that was closing out for you, right? When you were in the struggle, and this is when you were still going, before you had made your spiritual transition, you were still in between, right? And God is telling you that when you was going through this, every single last person that you had around you was fake. Every single one was fake. Everyone had a mask on. Everyone cloaked their true intentions and feelings towards you, right? In your time of need. And see, the reason why I say this was your time of need was because, see, when you was going through these hard times, people saw you struggling, and it felt like you were in a hell. But see, the thing is, God is telling you that even though you were in this hell, he was right there walking alongside with you and making sure that things didn't go the way that your enemies wanted it to go. Because even though you were in the hell, it wasn't as bad as it could have been if he didn't have his hand over you. And see, people didn't understand, your spiritual level. They didn't know your spiritual ranking, right? See, people like to judge a book by its cover before they really get a chance to know a person. And see, they judged you in thinking that you were weak, thinking that you were a pushover, thinking you was a nobody. They didn't know your spiritual ranking. So when you was going through this hell, it felt like you felt them burns. I'm going somewhere. I'm just telling you what's coming to me. And see, when this came to me, I was like, oh, I got to get on live and do this one. This can't be recorded. This got to be on the live. You were going through a hell. This was necessary for your growth. God knew that. You knew that. These people didn't know that. So in the midst of you going through this hell, people didn't see that God was walking with you. They didn't know. You know God had his hand over you. You knew that certain things that you were seeing, that man had you covered. And he was speaking to you in some type of way and giving you messages and giving you signs. So these people, all they saw were you. All they saw that you were struggling. All they saw that you were going without. Thank you, Brightly Baby, for that donation. Thank you so much. All they saw was that you was walking in this hell. And see, these are people who you thought you could trust. I'm going somewhere and I'm saying something. I'm going through something right now. And look at how I'm talking right now. So you know that what I'm saying is true, and this is something that you need to hear. You were going through a hell, and people saw you go through that hell. The very same people that saw you walk through this hell thought that you was walking alone, but you weren't walking alone. So they saw you. They didn't see the angels that were surrounded around you. They didn't know that God had his hand over you. And so these were the very same people that cloaked themselves to be your friend, that cloaked themselves to be your lovers, that cloaked themselves to be your family, that cloaked themselves to be in your community, and claim as if they were for you, but they really were against you. Because see, when you was going through this hell and they saw that you was going through this hell and you felt them burns. See why I say God had his hand over you, baby? You felt that heat. You felt it. It was uncomfortable for you to go through that. But the reason why I tell you that God had his hand over you, because even though you was walking through that fire, even though you was walking through them flames, even though you were in a hell at that particular time in your life, see, you didn't have any physical. There was no physical, nothing that when you was going through this, people couldn't see. See, as soon as God got you out of it, you didn't see anything. There were no burns on you. There was no scrapes. There was no nothing, because he had his hand over you. But these people who claimed to be for you sat and were looking at you and laughing at you, judging you in your time of need. God is telling you that they all were fake. And see, one thing about it, like I try to tell you guys, whatever hell you was going through, see, only you know how bad it is. I don't know why I felt led to say that you were going through a hell, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been had not God had his hand over your life. I don't know why I felt compelled to say that in the midst of you going through this hell, the very same people that claimed to be for you behind your back was spreading your business and laughing at it, thought it was funny, judging you. You had a whole group of people. Thank you, Yamar. Thank you for that. You had a whole group of people, right? And this is what I don't like. All these people were surrounded around you and had you in this mental state of mind of thinking, why I always attract fake people? Why people always got to be fake towards me, but real to whoever they want to be real towards, right? You kept asking yourself, why? And I tell you all the time, stop asking yourself why when you realize that you are living in a world that is corrupted and infected by darkness. These people don't understand why they like the things they like, why they're addicted to certain things, why they treat certain people a certain type of way. But see, at the same time, God is sitting everybody down, because these people who went against you didn't understand and did not know your spiritual ranking, did not know your purpose and why you was here. It was never God's plan to allow these people to attack you and do to you what they wanted to do to you. Thank you, Rose, baby. Thank you, Rose, for that donation. I love you. These people didn't know that. They so foolishly grouped up together to go against you, and for what? I always tell people, man, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. These people didn't give you the benefit of the doubt. See, so not only do you have to be weary of the people who ran their mouth about you, you also have to be weary of those who chose to believe the lies and the things that were being said about you. I always like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I don't never like to go off no he say, she say. Because one thing about it, a lot of people like to be jealous and intimidated by people who they know they can't be better than, and people who of which they feel have something going on in their life that maybe they don't have going on in theirs. So you got a lot of people that was going off of ego, going off of pride, going off of jealousy, going off of envy. Men and females alike. All these people, you got to take it how it resonates. All these people were fake in your time of need. And didn't have to be. You was struggling. You at the end of the day was trying to put food on the table for your babies. You was trying to pay the bills to keep a roof over your head. And these people thought that it was funny. Some of these people cloak themselves, want to be close to you because they want to pry and get in your business. Take the message how it resonates. I know I'm not getting on here and I'm not screaming and I'm not hooting and I'm not hollering, but the message still stands. Every single last person that you had around you, my God, they were fake. And see, the thing is, God is saying that you had to learn. Because had you not gone through this fire, had you not gone through these trials and tribulations, you would have never been able to differentiate and do the process of elimination to get these people up out your life. And see, one thing about it, now that God brought you out of the fire and brought you through the storm and delivered you, now these very same people want to look back and miss what they know they never gonna get again. Some of y'all was a real good friend to some of these people, man, and it's sad. You were good people. You was always good people. Some of y'all was in your head like, am I lovable? Is there something wrong with me? And God telling you, man, it's nothing wrong with you. You are a lovable person. It was never nothing wrong with you. You are in a world right now that's infected with darkness. Everybody had their addictions. Everybody had their own intentions. And at the same time, you were caught in the middle of this because this was something that you had to go through as part of your spiritual journey. You had to learn the hard way because some of these people you would have never gotten up out your life. And these people would have played their role to the day they died. And one thing about it, I tell y'all, man, it's worse to have a fake person around you trying to play that role like they real as opposed to just showing you their hand so that you know how they moving. Because they're able to do things and get away with things of which you will never be able to determine or figure out because they playing that fake role. This was the only way that God figured you would have gotten these people out your life. Because see, this the thing. Oh my God. This the thing. When you was going through that hell, you knew what it felt like to be broke. So now that he delivered you, you ain't gonna never allow people to take advantage of you again because you realize people will use you, eat you, use you, take till there's nothing left. They left you for dead. And when they left you for dead and you had to go through that fire and go through those struggles alone, but God was with you, you knew what that felt like. You had to learn the hard way. And don't shoot the messenger. Because y'all know I love you. But some of y'all, man, was allowing people to get away with murder. And you kept them in your life. They showed you the signs. They showed you who they were. You didn't want to listen and heed to the warning. So now God say, he not just going to let them have their way with you, but you had to learn a very hard lesson while he was covering you until he delivered you and brought you through. You ain't ready for it. I'm going through something right now and I'm talking to y'all and y'all not ready for it. See, the thing is, you had to learn. You had to learn. These people are never going to change. They are who they are. When someone show you who they are, you believe them. You went through that fire, but you weren't alone. Thank you, Terrence, for that donation, baby. I love you. You went through that fire. You went through that fire, but you weren't alone because God was with you. You had to learn and hit rock bottom in order to build up your strength, in order to build up your resilience, so that when God got you through, he looking at you and he's saying, okay, you learned the lesson. Now let me back up a little bit and let me see what you're working with. Let me see how you gonna move now. When people want to come back in your good graces and make amends, but then want to be real with you when they had you in their life. Let me back up a little bit and see what you do when another dude or another female trying to come and run that game on you. When you knew what it felt like back then when people was showing you fake love just to run up on what you had when things was good. And as soon as it got bad, they dipped. Let me back up a little bit and see what you're working with now. Now that I done got you through that hell, let me see what you're working with now. This is what God was doing for you. See, y'all didn't understand. He was building up your resilience. He was building up your strength, building up your perseverance. That's why I tell you, don't get mad at that man, because it's always reasoning. It's always reasons behind why he do what he do and why he allows certain things to happen. Look at where you were back then and look at where you are right now. Everything that you lost has been restored. Just think for a second. You know that this is something that is beyond your control. You lost it, God gave it back to you. But in the midst of that, you had to learn lessons, right? Before everything got restored, you had to learn lessons, right? So you know I tell no lies. Everything that you lost back then, I'm gonna say it again, because see, too many people try to come on here and do prophetic words and do all this type of stuff and really don't be being led to say certain things. Look at back then, all that money you lost, all that time you lost, and look at how it's being restored in the fashion, in the form of a career, in the form of finances, success, new housing, new car, whatever the case may be. You knew you didn't have that back then when you was going through the struggle and going through that fire, but as soon as God got you through it, all them blessings started overflowing. And then it had you thinking, well, dang, I lost it, I got it back. So what happened? What happened is you transitioned. What happened is you elevated. What happened is this was part of your spiritual journey. And it was lessons that you had to learn. That's what happened. That's what's happened. You had to learn. See, in the process of God backing up and seeing what you're working with, is to say that I tell y'all the blessings that he's bringing in your life right now, they're not going to stop. They're not going to cease. It's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and better. But he, in the midst of him taking you through certain things and certain situations. Thank you, a new pretty baby. Thank you so much for that donation. I appreciate you. God bless you. In the midst of you going through what you was going through, your circumstances, right? See, people don't understand. They'll sit up here and call people hypocrites. They'll sit up here and say and talk and judge and laugh. But you had to go through what you had to go through in order for it to work in your favor and in order for it to turn into a testimony. Thank you, Sugar Cookie Baby. I appreciate that. This was your testimony. And see, God know what he was doing, because see, as soon as he brought you out of that and he blessed you and he restored you, now you can go back and tell people how he delivered you and how he brought you through. Because see, you realize that things could have went way left, and had it not been for him, where would you have been? What would these people have done to you? Look at what they did to you when they had full access to you. They betrayed you, man. They abused you, talked about you real dirty. I tell no lies. I tell no lies. I feel it. All of them was fake for no reason. They didn't have to be that way with you. It was like it was a group of people all together, all in cahoots, and then it was you. Some of these people didn't even have no reason to hate you. They was jumping on the bandwagon. Some people didn't even want to give you the benefit of the doubt. Running their mouth and then believing lies. Because you have stuck people. When people choose not to become elevated, when people choose to be stuck, you got a lot of people who didn't want to accept the new you. So what they do is they sit here and they see all the good that's happening in your life, and they got to bring up the bad. They see how you being elevated, and they got to talk about a time at one point in time in your life that maybe you weren't on the up and up and you weren't doing good before you embarked on your spiritual journey. They see you elevate and then they want to bring up the past. They see you elevating and progressing and winning. They got to bring up when you was struggling, when you was losing. Thank you, Blessed Baby, for the donation. They see you out here looking good. They want to bring up a time of which you wasn't up on yourself and you wasn't up to par. Stuck, envious, jealous, evil people. What can you do when we living in a world that's corrupted, full of them? You can't do nothing. But you, God's chosen few. That's why you go through it. Chosen people go through the most. You had friends that was betraying you with your dude, because I went through it. I had my best friend for 6 years. Y'all ask me, Victoria, where you pull these messages from? A lot of it is things I've gone through. And then when I'm sleeping and I think about certain things. And so when I just told y'all about the hell, that came to me. I'm trying to tell you something. The way that I worded it was like, y'all went through a hell, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been had not God had his hand over you. That came to me. But the actual experience that I went through, I did go through a point in my life where I was broke. I did go through a point in my life where things wasn't working out for me. Career-wise, education, everything. And then it's like, it was an overflow, man. Since the beginning of this year, it was an overflow. But it was a time in my life, a cycle I went through was nothing was working for me. And everybody around me who I thought was for me was talking my business and laughing and judging me. And being fake so they can get around me and get up in my business. I had a best friend. I just want to share this with y'all so y'all understand where I'm coming from. I prayed about it. I said, God, why every friend I encounter got to be fake towards me or betray me in some type of way? I went through this first when I was in middle school, and a friend of mine ended up getting with my boyfriend at that particular time. The boyfriend went with her because she was giving it up. I wasn't giving it up in middle school. You get what I'm saying? That wasn't even a thought on my mind. But because she was giving it up, he left me for her and broke up with me in a dirty way. And she was making faces, all type of stuff behind my back until he did the same thing to her. Then she came back and was like, oh, we can't let guys get in between our friendship. I'm like, I never let a guy get between our friendship. You did that. But see, one thing about it, what I'm about to get into, I created this, I had abandonment issues. And so the thing is, my problem was allowing people to come back in my life after they had betrayed me. And when I was praying and I was going on my spiritual journey, I was just like, why every person I encounter is fake to me? And that wasn't the last time that it happened. Most recently, I had a friend of mine for 6 years. She was real close to me, knew my secrets, very close to me. And she ended up getting with my ex. Now, they met because of me. But they got together after I stopped talking to her and after me and him were no longer an item together. So it had me wondering, like, what was going on? And so this person, she was around me when I was going through what I was going through. And me and him weren't talking. So when all this stuff was happening to me, I just got closer to God and I really just started praying and crying because I was like, I'm tired. I can't take no more. I went through a lot. People will never understand the things that I go through. I have to deal with that and think about that. Like, a girl I was this close with for 6 years is with my ex that I was with for 3 years. And the whole time that they was around me kept saying how fast she is, so he would never get with a chick like that. And then she kept saying how ugly he is and he not on her level. But then they ended up getting together after I got out their life. So the thing is, what I'm trying to tell you is God just had to open me up and really just had to sit me down. And I had to realize that the issues and the old habits that I had to break that stemmed from abuse in my childhood. Always, forgiving my mom after she do things to me because that was my mom. And see, one thing about it, you never really understand the demons that people be battling. I always tell you, man, people have spiritual attachments to them. That's why they do the things that they do, say the things that they say. That's why they stuck in a certain cycle in their life, because of the spiritual attachments that's on them. In order for you to rid yourself of these spiritual attachments and toxicities and negative energy, you have to heal. And a part of that is, like I said, you know, you have to break old habits. You have to break these abandonment issues, these triggers and trauma bonding, so that you don't keep attracting the very same people that God is trying to deliver you from. Because one thing about it, God will deliver you from these people and you'll attract it in another person because you're not healed. You get what I'm saying? You're not learning and paying attention. So a lot of it is when you was going through this and you was going through this cycle, you had to learn lessons. And not only did it rid the fake people about your life, it made you resilient. It made you independent. It made you successful. It made you rich. It made you top shelf. It made you a queen. It made you a king. You always been God's chosen few. You always been royalty. You always had your high spiritual ranking. You just had to tap into it. And this was how God knew that you would be able to tap into it. You gotta hit it. Sometimes it take you, man, having to be broke and thinking about every single last person that was up in your pockets. Y'all ain't ready for it. I'm about to get off this line. Y'all not ready for it, man. I'm saying too much. Maybe I'm not saying it in the right way. I don't know. Let me know. It take you. If y'all want me to be quiet, let me know. I'll be quiet. No, it ain't funny. Y'all not ready for it. You know I keep it real. I don't hold back. See, the thing is, you have to hit it. You will never understand. See, you'll keep giving and sacrificing yourself for what? For people who at the end of the day, when you were struggling, laugh at you. See, sometimes it take you having to be broke. Thank you, Rose, baby. Rose is on a ball today. I must be saying something right, Rose. Thank you, Rose, baby. Sometimes it take you having to hit that pit and be broke. And then think about every single last person that was up in your pockets. Oh, hey, man, can you help me out with this? Oh, hey, man, you know, my phone bill, da-da-da-da-da. Hey, you know, I came up short, da-da-da-da-da. Oh, you know, I got to get on the bus. Can you get me an Uber here? Oh, can you go ahead and bump, send me this? Can you bump? Think about, you know, you putting gas in a person's tank every time they come by to get you. You thinking that they doing you a justice. No, they like, oh man, you know, every time I come around, I know they gonna fill up the gas tank, but I'm gonna play that role. I'm gonna play like I'm being their friend. I'm gonna play like I'm doing them a favor. I'm be like, no, you ain't gotta give me gas. You know what I'm saying? But knowing your heart, they know you still gonna go ahead and give it to them anyway. You get what I'm saying? Y'all gotta think, man. Thank you, my cup runneth over. All these people, it take you. God said it took you having to hit that pit and be broke. And when you didn't have not a dime to your name, you went down the list. Y'all know every time I say you go down the list, every time I say, let me tell you something, you know I'm about to hit it. So let me tell you something. You had to go down the list. And you start saying, okay, I gave Bob $2,000 the other day, just last week. You know, I told him he have to pay me back, you know what I'm saying? I gave Shelly $500 last month for this. She said her babies needed clothes and babies needed food and all this type of stuff. You started going down the list. But see, you were broke. You were broke. And these people was off living their life. As if they was going on cruises, hopping up in new relationships, doing all this stuff. At one point in time, they was crying broke to you though. Crying wolf to you though. And then now you really up in that pit. You really done hit. And now you thinking. God wanted you to think. He had to put you in a place where you had to think. That's why things was on pause for you. He really wanted you to think, okay, look, you shot out and gave up all that money that you gave out, you could have kept. And you wouldn't have been in this position. You gotta stop. You got to stop. You got to think. You got to take care of you before you sit up here and try to take care of everybody else. Because when you got broke, no one came to your rescue. And then when you started calling down the very same people that you was helping, these very same people was the ones who was going around and telling everybody that you was struggling. Oh, they asking me for money. Normally, I'll be the one that asks them for money. Tell me I'm saying something wrong and I'll be quiet. Tell me I'm saying something wrong and I'm going to be quiet. That's how your business got out there. Because you was going back to the very same people who you thought would help you because you helped them. You had to go down the list. When your mental stability was on edge and on the rocks, everybody could come to you for advice. Everybody could come to you and know that they can get some good sound advice and get calm. But when you really needed it, when you was contemplating certain things, no one came to your rescue. Because he was too busy up in the corner, God saying, laughing at you and talking and spreading your doggone business. And now that he done delivered you and you done got up out of it, he backing up. Because he know you would never, ever, ever allow people to do you the way that they did you before in the past. JC, back me up. GPR, you with me? You already know what to do. If any of these messages resonate with you, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And tell a friend to join the JC gang. Reach one, teach one. We ride together. We gonna slide together. JC gang for life. That's why God backed you up after he delivered you and brought you through the storm. Because he knew how bad you hit that doggone pit. You wasn't gonna allow these people or anyone for that matter to do you how you was done before in the past, because you knew what it felt like to be broke. You gonna think next time before you allow yourself and give your last for somebody else dependent on people. He was trying to make you independent, not dependent. He was trying to make you resilient, not weak. This journey not for the frail, it's for the strong. He had to make you strong, baby. You had to go through that. And for some of y'all, man, I get it, because I never want to go through that again. You never gonna have to worry about that or go through that again, but you had to go through it in order to learn a lesson. God say everybody that you had around you was fake in your time of need, but you had to learn. So now when people want to try to come back and make amends because they ain't got nothing to laugh at no more, they see you on the up and up when they thought you wouldn't have never been there. Now they see you as competition when they viewed you as not being worthy. You gonna learn. And God say the choice is yours what you do from here on out. But he got you through. Blessings and blessings is on the up and up all 2022. And also this year as well. From here on out, that's all you're gonna have is blessings. But you got to do right with them blessings. That's why you had to go through. Tell me if it's making sense to you. Before God had to bring the blessings, you had to learn the lesson. You had to learn the lesson about who these people were and how to move next time when he bless you again. Everybody don't have your best interests at heart. People is not going to always give you the benefit of the doubt. Some people is stuck. They never going to be able to get past what you did in the past and who you were in the past. Leave these people in the past. You don't need these people around you or in your life anyway. I don't know nobody that likes to stay stuck. I don't know nobody that likes to look at, listen, man, we out of high school. We grown. We paying bills. We past that. Whatever happened in the past. Whoever holding stuff over your head. Whatever the situation may be. Take it how it resonates. Y'all have grown and gotten past these phases and out of these cycles. Be wary of people who try to keep you in it by constantly bringing up what you used to be, what you used to do. Let's talk about the present. Let's talk about the foreseeable future. Don't bring me nothing from the past no more. I don't want to hear it. You know why you don't? You know why these people? This the thing. When someone bring up your past, just look. Be like, listen. I don't want to talk about the past no more. I don't want to hear it. But I know why you want to hear it though. You want to keep bringing up my past. You like hearing that because it make you feel better at one point in time in my life that you was better than me, or that you was more sanctified than me, or you was more whatever, blessed than me. That's why people keep bringing up that old stuff. But now that you are here, and now that God is blessing you, nobody has nothing to say. So the way that they hold power over you is by bringing up the past, because they fake. So at the end of the day, what I want y'all to know, man, is God has already brought you through. He already brought you through the fire. He's already delivered you. These people are going to try to come back and extend an olive branch. The choice is yours. But you learned the lesson. You saw how these people and who they truly were. And at the end of the day, man, just my advice to you, if a person had to see me struggle, go without, and looking bad, just nothing going right in my life, and they thought that it was funny, and not only did they think it was funny, they didn't extend their helping hand like how they trying to extend that olive branch. Now that you know God doing you well, they want to be in your good graces now, but couldn't do it back then when you was struggling. You need a lot of these people, you need to tell them keep that same energy. Cause you when people show you who they are, man, at the worst time in your life, you have to take them at face value. Don't try to make excuses for them. Don't try to justify their actions, because there's no way to justify that foolishness and that ignorance. Because they should have been trying to help you. But see, the problem is they judged you, and they judged you wrong, God says, because they didn't know your spiritual ranking and didn't know that he was right there walking with you. Didn't know that you was protected and covered the whole time. Didn't know that it was part of your spiritual journey. So now everybody want to look back and want to be in your good graces now for the wrong reasons, and because they still fake. Let these people be. And continue to every day hold your head up high. Whenever you find yourself in this place of replaying it and replaying in your mind, shake yourself out of it. I know that it's going to take you a while to get over what some of these people did to you, because they were real nasty. They were real nasty. But you know what? Like I say, it made you resilient. It made you independent. And baby, you came out successful anyway. So how these people did you didn't matter, because that's what you needed to tap in. And until next time, I want you to understand that if you need a friend, you got it in me. If you need love, you got it in me. If you need inspiration, motivation, a life example, baby, you know you got it in me. I'm your sister. I'm your confidant. I'm that shoulder that you can lean on, that you can cry on. I'm that listening ear that you can vent to. You already know I come with that real, I don't come with that fake. I keep it 100 with you. I keep it a buck with you. You already know that. So I'm your sister for y'all. I'm your sister for life. I'm your friend for life. And until next time, stay prayed up and be blessed. And also make sure that you go ahead and you subscribe to my personal vlog. I'll be posting an update on 𝐂𝐨𝐨𝐩 surgery on that YouTube channel. This channel is just going to be strictly for the prophetic messages and the motivational, inspirational messages that I have for you guys. If you guys want to see more of me on a personal level, please make sure that you go ahead to the community board and make sure that you go ahead and tap in, and you can see and subscribe to my personal vlog as well. And until next time, I love y'all. Pray for me and pray that Jay's surgery go well on Friday. This will be the last time that I upload. I got a couple more messages for you guys, but as you can see, I've been trying to hold myself together. But I didn't want it to be too long before I got back on here. So this will be the last time that I upload. I will be uploading until Jade comes out of her surgery, and then I gotta help her recover. But I love you guys so much. And make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, stay prayed up and be blessed.